So the most common question that I get is, should I buy? People want to know whether now's the right time. Rates are crazy, prices are out of control, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And like anything else, the decision comes down to you and what's important to you. The market is always going to be dynamic. We happen to live in one of the most stable real estate markets in terms of Greater Boston, and more specifically within 128. When we saw a dip back in '08, towns that were on the fringe, really far away from urban environments, long commutes to work. There's a multitude of factors that you consider when you think about volatility and when you try to predict what might happen. And in terms of predictions, the weather today was not predicted. So we never truly know what's going to happen. But if you feel like you want to invest, if you feel like you are looking to put your money in a smart place that's maybe a little more stable over a long term than the stock market, real estate is certainly an area to look at. And when you work with a good professional, a real estate professional, they can help guide you through a lot of the challenges and questions that you might have. Equally important to find a good mortgage professional who can guide you through the different options that you might have. Because if you're a first-time buyer, there's a multitude of programs out there that you might not even know of, and your agent might not even know of. So really important to get a good financial advisor. That's a whole other category, but a mortgage professional who can guide you through not only first-time investments, second, third, fourth home, whatever your deal is, cash out, refi. Like, there's all sorts of options out there financially for you. So don't be afraid or scared by what the media says, because the media is just looking for clicks and for attention. And they typically talk about things from a macro or really, really high level that might be true from across the entire United States or across the entire state of Massachusetts perspective. But as it relates to your needs, your target community, the goals you have for your life, real estate, if you're thinking about it, it's certainly important to talk to a professional to help you decide whether it is, in fact, something that you want to jump into or get out of. Conversely, there are people thinking about, should I sell? My life is changing. My kids are gone. I'm older. I want to travel. I don't really want the headache and burden of owning a property anymore. The market's nuts. What am I going to do? You can always rent. There's a multitude of things you can do. So bottom line, if you have any questions about real estate, reach out to a really good professional, such as me, to figure out the different paths and options that you may have that you may not even know are out there.